Just your average everyday trucker, keeping it real. I'm your host, Chris Blodgett, and you're listening to Real Talk Tuesday. Today's topic is going to be don't let others that don't have the same vision as you affect what you're doing. This is episode 83. Once again, guys, welcome. Appreciate you being here. So, the inspiration for tonight's topic is kind of based on current experiences that I've gone through recently. Like, as you guys know by now, because I've been talking about it for a few episodes, I do, but I'm not just a podcast host, but I'm also an online entrepreneur. Got that legacy builder business that I'm basically a part of. That I'm, always try to tell you guys about a few details about towards the end of the episode. But so I'm doing that, and as well as doing, I'm trying to be, as you guys could probably hopefully see. Those of you who've been with me since the beginning, I hope you can tell that I'm trying to get back on the ball with this podcast. I'm trying to be consistent and actually get these episodes, get them set up beforehand, and actually that way I can have a Real Talk Tuesday episode and a Storytime Friday episode, even if I'm doing the freestyle episode for the Storytime Friday, which basically, for those of you who are new to this podcast, I'm a writer. And when I started doing Storytime Friday, I was trying to basically sit down on my day off, on one of my days off, and get my computer and, come up with a story and write an actual story for you guys that I would then read for the Storytime Friday episode. But I've kind of had a lot going on, especially with the with business, with the podcast and with work and all that stuff. So I've had trouble actually finding time to actually sit for a few hours and basically get a story written. So what I started to try to do is I would actually just hit record and just literally try to come up with a story off the top of my head. Kind of, I refer to it as working on my storytelling skills, which is, I'll admit, I was a little surprised when I first did it, because I thought I had been thinking about it for a little bit before I did the first one. Like when I had like a week or two where I didn't do a story, and I was like, I really want to get back to doing the stories on Fridays, but struggling to find time to sit down and take a few hours to write, because I got other stuff going on. But trying not to make excuses and trying to keep pushing forward, because that's one of the things I'm always preaching: keep pushing forward. Keep putting one foot in front of the other, take it day by day, week by week. Do what you got to do until you can do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do. And so, I thought the very first time I did it, literally, it was all right, hit record. I just told the story off the top of my head, just came up with it, literally, like, didn't have any idea what kind of story I wanted to do. Thought a little bit about it before I hit record to think, all right, like, where do I want to start? And then what I've noticed with storytelling for me, especially like when I'm writing it, starting it is the hardest part. Like getting started when you're trying to think of, all right, what do I want the character names to be in this story I'm going to start? What do I want this to be about? And I just randomly, I kind of get a basis and I start. And then as I'm writing, the other ideas, like it just develops as I'm going. So then I'm writing and other ideas are flowing and my hands are just typing away or whatever. It's kind of like that too when I'm doing a freestyle and I'm just kind of telling a story off the top of my head. I start the story, I just kind of come up with some scenario that the story starts with, and then I kind of work from there. And lately I've noticed that as I'm doing these freestyle stories, that as I get further and further in, I'm literally like other events, whatever happened, during the story that I'm coming up with, and it's like, and then I get to the end, I'm able to actually I get to a point where I'm able to bring it to a close. And every time when I'm doing it, I'm always thinking to myself, I hope that was okay. And I'll admit, I check my own workout, but I might not listen to it before it posts. I'll go ahead and, once I got it recorded, I'm like, all right, that's the finished product, and, hopefully it's good. And I'll edit it, get the background music, sound effects, whatever, and then go ahead and get it uploaded to my podcast host. And, go ahead and get it scheduled for the day and time when it's supposed to post, like Tuesdays and Fridays or whatever. And then basically once it goes live and I get the alert on Spotify or whatever, say episode whatever of the Blodgett Show posted or went live, cool, awesome. So then when I get a chance, I'll actually if I'm not doing anything else except for out here going down the road or whatever, no conversations going on or whatever, I'll go ahead and, hop on there to Spotify and I'll go ahead and, I'll play my episode to kind of listen to it myself. And I've had a few occasions where I would do an episode, I would get it edited and uploaded, and as I'm listening to it, I would realize that I screwed something up. So, bear with me real quick, guys. Actually, let's see, because something funny about today, I got a couple minutes I can tell you, and then I'm gonna have to put you on break for at least a few minutes, and because I was on basically I came in today and was expecting to do a couple short runs and then go to Huntsville and back, but when I came in to they dispatched me from Nashville to Lebanon, I had a single trailer loaded and I was dispatched to Chattanooga. And the trailer itself said Nashville, but the destination for where I'm going said Chattanooga. So I'm like, okay. I thought there was something weird about that, but if you tell me here's a trailer, it's going here, okay. Opposite drivers do, I'm told. I've gone to other locations where the trailer that I was taking in there said it was for somewhere else before, so I was like, I don't know, maybe they got some plans for it. Who knows? I got 2/3 of the way to Chattanooga, and they called me. They told me that they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. But that trailer is supposed to go to Nashville. I screwed up. I'm really sorry. And I'm like, I told him, I said, I was kind of wondering. Because I was like, I saw that, but I was like, hey, it said Chattanooga, so I was like, all right, I guess gonna go out here and do it. Yeah, if you see that, just call me and bring it to my attention. Cause I had it on there for Nashville, but then for some reason I selected Chattanooga and dispatched it like that. I'm like, okay, well, if I see it and I think about it, I will let you know. But usually I'm just like, oh, it's going here, okay. I'm like, it ain't my mistake, it's your mistake. I was like, but it's all good, man. I'll find a place to turn around. He goes, all right, I'm sorry about that, but yeah, if you can turn around. The only problem is that I'm like, how does that work with the mileage? Because I'm 2/3 of the way out to Chattanooga right now. He goes, oh, you'll have to get with your boss about that, and he'll have to work with FedEx stuff to make sure you're paid for the mileage. I'm like, all right, cool, that's fine. So, So anyway, so pulling in it, my plan actually, I tried to stop at Love's on my way out of Lebanon to go ahead and get a cappuccino, get some caffeine in me. And their cappuccino maker, I guess, the powder was low because it was just coming out like mostly water. So I was like, I got a 5-hour energy. I was like, yeah. But now that when I was turning around to come back to Nashville, I was like, well, I'm gonna find the first truck stop and like a Pilot or something, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull in, and I'm gonna go ahead and get my cappuccino. Since after I get back to Nashville, it sounds like I'll just do a load from Nashville to Lebanon, then Lebanon back to Murph, and then Murph back to Nashville. So a couple of short runs. So I'm gonna put you guys on hold for just a brief second. Bear with me. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, guys. Sorry about that. Sorry for that brief pause there for you. Funny thing was, I went into Pilot, figured get a cappuccino or whatever. I like coffee when you really can't tell it's coffee. Like that's why I love cappuccinos, because you're still getting the coffee kind of, but with the way it's mixed and whatever, it's like extremely flavorful, and it's like, ooh, this is good. But with coffee, it's like you can mix everything you can into it and stuff. You're still getting that coffee taste, but with whatever other flavor that you've added to it. So I went in there, and of course they had a Wendy's. It was open 24 hours, so I was like, oh, some chicken nuggets, why not? Because I was planning to heat up some food in Chattanooga, and that plan kind of got thrown off because now I'm coming back to Nashville without going to chat. But went into Pilot and got some nuggets. So went into Pilot, got some nuggets, and went over after I got my food, and was gonna go ahead and get my my cappuccino, whatever. Which most truck stops I've been in, yeah, they have coffee, they have the cappuccino the machines that have the powder or whatever. So never been a big deal, especially if it's an actual name brand truck stop, like Love's, Flying J, whatever. But this Pilot, I guess all they had were like hot and iced coffee mixes. I was like, well, shit, So initially, I filled up a cup halfway with, hazelnut flavored, medium roast, and then I was gonna add the hazelnut creamer to it as much as possible, and try to see if I could actually mix it in a way that it wouldn't this much be like, hey, it's coffee with flavoring, And I was like, yeah, So I decided not to do it. I ended up, but I didn't want to leave and feel like I didn't accomplish what I came in there for. So I was like, well, they had hot chocolate, so I already had a hold of the large cup, so I went and got a large hot chocolate, and called it a day. I'm like, oh well. So, but the inspiration for tonight's topic comes from when I got into this business, into this legacy builder business. Like right off the bat, I had one of my in-laws. Basically, sorry, a little itch in the throat. One of my in-laws basically messaged me, literally, I mean, this is before I had those first 2 sales. Like she messaged me, hey Chris, I saw your post on Instagram. Because I'm basically taking action steps every day. Like I'm like, you know what? I'm in it to win it. Like I've seen a lot of people actually succeeding in this business. So I'm following the steps that I'm supposed to do my videos, do my posts, and finding free ads. One of the steps for this business is posting free ads on these free ad sites to drive traffic to your page, because basically once they get to your page, they put in their name and email address to obviously get more information, and then they're a part of your mailing list. And then there's automated emails that go out for like 3 or 4 weeks, just to follow up and different stuff. And basically the automated system is meant to close the sales for you, without you having to actually hey, are you gonna try to sell them, That's why it's called a rejection-free business. But right off the bat, I had a text before I got these 2 sales, like, hey Chris, I saw your post on Instagram. I can't believe it's a scam. Can you please not, please don't give them your bank information, don't give them any money, blah blah blah. And I didn't respond because I thought, well, I'm already in there, so. And then by the time my wife was contacted by that relative, basically, she told me about it. I said, hey, she called, they were talking about such and such, and I said, yeah, I figured as much. And so I showed my wife my phone. I said, but check this out. This is right after I got that first sale, which is the $900 sale, which I had somebody join me in the Legacy Builder program. And then she was like, you just made $900? I'm like, yeah. She was, holy crap. I was like, yeah. So I was like, it works. It's actually, it's possible to do really well with this. I just have to, keep at it and stuff. She goes, okay. So, it's one of the, and then of course, fast forward to earlier today, my dad texted me, Chris, are you making $900 a day? I'm like, not yet. I'm like, I'm working on it. He goes, why are you all over Facebook? Trying to tell people they can make $900 a day instead of you going out there and earning that yourself. And I said, well, Dad, that's kind of what I'm trying to do. Because I was like, but it's a different business than what Sonya and Josh do, like my brother and my sister-in-law, because I told you guys about them in previous episodes. They're in Primerica, and does with insurance, like life insurance, investments, stuff like that. And I was like, it's different than what they do, and blah blah blah. And my dad basically was like, well, but they had to go through training for that, and that company's been around for decades, and had to do more training for that, and there is no, shortcut to getting to being successful unless you win the lottery or something. And I was like, well, Dad, there's more than one way to actually do business online. And I said, I can't just, I told him a little bit about what's going on with the job. The fact that my load, from what I was told, got switched to a morning load, but I'm left on nights, so I've kind of been on standby and basically running whatever the heck, It's like some nights I might run my Farina run, some nights I might run 1 or 2 short runs and then run to Huntsville and back. Other nights I might run to Northern Kentucky. Other nights I go out to Chattanooga or Knoxville. It's like nothing's set, which kind of sucks. I like that I'm working most days, but I told the wife earlier, I said part of my stress in my job right now is I have no idea what I'm doing from day to day, and that sucks. And so, yes, I'm grateful for the work, but I was on a dedicated for a year, and then, as far as I know, I'm told one thing, but from what I'm hearing from whenever I do run my regular route and I deal with the team, they're like, oh yeah, so and so, we get down there at 6 and he leaves around 2 or 3, and I'm like, I've told you guys that the guy that's running my route is leaving at 10 in the morning, and that's why he didn't put me on the run. But from what I hear, the guy that's on it, he has been with the company a lot longer than me, and so I don't know if his route canceled. He basically demanded to take mine, and then I got taken off because he's trying to keep this guy happy or something. I don't know. But I'm being told one thing, and I'm kind of not sure what to believe. But hey, I don't question it because I'd rather do whatever work I can do instead of confront him, and, ask him if it's really true, or try to call somebody out, only to then be either terminated or left it. Oh, well, we don't have any runs for you tonight. So I'm like, you know what? I'll come in and do what I gotta do, and I'm doing my stuff on the side. Like, obviously, like I'm doing this podcast, I'm doing the Legacy Builder business, doing my videos and doing my basically just working on my my TikTok, my YouTube, Twitter. Got a blog up. Anybody that I don't know, depending on how you. I'm curious, because I'm now starting to, like, obviously that video I did earlier. I did a video earlier on TikTok where I actually took a screenshot of the 2 new episodes, the Real Talk Tuesday and Storytime Friday that just posted. And then I created a video on TikTok where I was able to shrink that image down a little bit and put it right beside where I was talking, to basically, motion over towards that screenshot and talk about how, like the 2 new episodes just went live, blah, blah, blah. And then shared that everywhere, to YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. On Facebook, I did it as Reels too, because I've kind of lately been thinking that I might, I was sharing to groups, when I started this Legacy business, but, I wonder if I kind of have a feeling like Reels might reach more people. So instead of sharing to groups, I've just been, any videos I've been doing a lot more sharing them as Reels, thinking that, you know what they say, get as many eyeballs on your page as possible, whatever. Funny thing was, after leaving that pilot, and going ahead and getting hot chocolate instead, now I'm passing to Love's, which I know for a fact they have cappuccino mixes, but I've already got the hot chocolate, so I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna deal with it right now. I'm just gonna enjoy the hot chocolate. I would have actually gotten a cappuccino earlier if the Love's that I was at in Lebanon actually had the machines, like they're stocked up. But when I told the cashier, like, yeah, I think your machines are out of powder because it's watery, he goes, oh, okay. So they're staring at me. I'm like, so you're not gonna fill it back up? So, but, and sorry for got a little bit off on a tangent there, but basically going back and forth with my dad about, like, well, Dad, like, I was like, I'm not just gonna, I was like, I need to make a difference, like, I need to change things, and I can't do that by just staying in my job, doing my routes, working all night, getting to sleep at like 10 a.m. or whatever, and just not doing anything and just dealing with it, Because I was like, nothing's gonna change. We're in survival mode, where we're basically we get paid, we pay the bills, we put money aside every week to go towards rent because it's like $2,000, and then we rinse and repeat the next month. And I'm like, my plan when I started doing this Legacy Builder business was to, the bare minimum at first was to make a dent, like to help with rent, which that was the 2 sales I got, the 900, the 100 that I made my first week. Basically, that's in savings towards rent right now. And so we have half of it covered because of what I did with the business already. So honestly, like, that's already a success. So I'm just continuing to work it, continuing to bring the leads. I'm continuing to get a couple leads a day onto my mailing list. We're then getting emailed about the business or whatever automatically without me having to do anything because it's all automated. So I love that part. The fact that you don't have to actually like go and try to sell them on it yourself. All you have to do is basically, give them information, but direct them to your page so that way they can put their name and email. They can watch the video on the next screen, and they can literally then follow the automation steps. They can see what it's all about, decide if they want to buy or not, or if they don't, they can unsubscribe, whatever, But going back and forth with my dad, and it's like, I was trying to explain, I'm like, I was like, if you want things to change, you have to change it. Like, I can't just sit back and, keep working my job and hope that, that magically things are just going to get better, And I'm saying that because I know that a lot of us out here, whether we're drivers or we're just working like a regular 9 to 5, a lot of us go to our job and we're happy when we get paid, when our paychecks hit or whatever. But I guarantee you, a high percentage of us, even if we make a decent amount of money at our job, a high percentage of us, we're looking for more. You know, we're looking for either something that pays better or something that we're happier, that makes us happier to do it, you know, or that, you know, you just feel more fulfilled. And like, I do what I'm currently doing as a trucker versus like a clock in, like, you know, hourly pay or whatever, for a couple of reasons. Because I don't like being on my feet for long periods of time, and I don't like getting, you know, when I can get paid, you know, by the mile or by the load, which ends up being a decent, you know, payday compared to if you're getting paid $10 an hour and you go and work for 8 hours, you're only making $80. So it's like if you're in a dedicated driving position, you're making 250, 300, 350, depending on how many miles you put in, you know, and you're putting in probably like 10 or 11 hours to make 250 or 350, you know, then that overall, if you're looking at the difference between working an 8-hour day and getting paid $80 to $100, or working an 8 to 10 hour day and getting paid $250, you know, like it's a lot. It's about the same hour, a little bit more hours, roughly about the same amount of work, you know, because you're doing maybe 2 hours more, but you're getting paid like double or more, like a little bit over double. And it's like, so that's kind of why I do what I do, because I, you know, being able to sit in the driver's chair and do what I do, you know. Obviously, it's not for everybody, because like I know there's a lot of people that would not, they're not really the long distance driving type. Like they, you know, would have to stop every hour or whatever because they would just need antsy or whatever, which is fine, you know. My ex was kind of like that, you know. Her and her mom, literally, we'd do a 10-hour drive or 12-hour drive from Dallas to good old Holdridge, Nebraska, you know, where I graduated high school, whatever, and where I guess she had her grandparents live there. And I kid you not, we would stop every about hour and 10 minutes, hour and 20 minutes. Hey, we pull over, I gotta pee. What? We literally just stopped an hour ago. Yeah, I know, but I gotta go again. I'm like, well, then quit chugging the drinks. So, but sadly, a lot of people out there, especially family, you know, when you're starting to work on some goals and dreams, and it requires you to take a certain path. Like, for instance, like I stumbled upon this business, and you know, everything. I was like, oh wow, this actually looks really good. This looks, I mean, like you can actually do really well with this. You just got to be, you know, take daily action, you know, actually make things happen every single day, and not, you know, slack off, not take a week and not do anything. You know, you got to keep doing the stuff that you're supposed to do, and you're gonna start seeing results. Like, first, you're gonna see your social media accounts are gonna start growing. You're gonna start seeing followers on, you know, your follower account on TikTok go up. You're gonna start seeing your videos both on TikTok and YouTube. The views are gonna start jumping up. Except my first week, it was like a lot of my videos were showing like maybe like 5 views or 0 views depending on the video. Now quite a few of my videos on TikTok at least are well over 200. I have a couple on YouTube that are like 450 or whatever, and I have a couple that are 200, and I have some that are like 40 or 50 or 80 views. And I'm like, hey, I'll take what I get, you know. But I'm deliberately connecting, like I'm connecting different platforms to different other platforms. Like when I post on my blog, when I post a video with whatever I'm posting, I'm sharing the same caption that I post everywhere else, but on the video, I'm copying the link from my YouTube channel as far as embedding that in the post. So that way, technically, that post is connected to my YouTube channel. And then I've shared a few of those YouTube videos onto the different platforms, you know, like share that onto Twitter, share that onto my blog and stuff like that, and shared a YouTube video directly to Facebook. So that way I'm connecting the different platforms to each other. So that way if somebody finds me on one platform but they're not connected somewhere else, you know, they can probably find my YouTube channel, or they can find my TikTok or whatever, because I'm growing them all. So that with the intent to not, it's part of this business is to actually, it's like multiple streams of income because you're growing you're growing your social media, so you can get paid that way. So that's a couple streams right there, and then of course get paid 100% of the sales. So anybody that comes in and say somebody buys a $900 legacy program, you know, you would make 100% of the sales. So it's like I'm just pushing forward and trying to do whatever I can. And I'm not gonna lie, there's days where I wake up like I'm tired as hell because I was up till like 10 or 11 in the morning, and I wake up and I'm like, I really don't want to do it. Like I don't feel like it. I really like, I haven't made a sale in a week, but my lead, my email list is growing. So there's progress. I'm making progress. I may not have made a sale within this past like couple days or whatever, but I'm getting more leads through my into my mailing list, and my videos. I'm still doing my videos. I'm still getting followers on TikTok. So things are still happening. It's just it's one of those it's a slow burn. You gotta work at it and stuff. And the point I'm trying to make with what this is, like, you might have family members that family or friends. I mean, it's people in general that you're close with that may not quite agree with the path you're doing, like, or may not think it's like, some people think everything's a scam. That's fine. They can believe whatever they want. And it's hard for me because I would love for like my in-laws, I would love for my parents to actually be like, oh man, yeah, like, I don't understand it, but hey, you already made money, so keep rocking it, man. No, they're like, well, like my dad, why are you trying to tell people they can make $900 a day instead of you going out earning that yourself? I'm like, well, that's what I'm literally doing. Like, I'm like, you can earn not just by having a regular job, but you can earn by selling things online, by having an online business. It's possible. A lot of people do it. So it's like, you can't let others sway you from, what you're doing, the path that you're on, the goals that you're working towards. Like, honestly, I've had moments on this podcast where I almost, because I got so low, because of like, man, where you feel like it's never going to happen, where you're never going to get there, things are never going to get better. I mean, as far as like, how am I ever make it to where I'm making really good money? Like, oh man, should I even keep going? I've had those moments. Heck, I've even had moments where like I technically had like 1 to 2 weeks where I didn't post an episode. And then by the time I posted it, I felt horrible because I was like, man, like I really slacked off. Like I didn't do an episode in 2 weeks. So I'm trying to not let that happen again. Even if it means I gotta, like for instance, at the time of this recording for this Real Talk Tuesday, it's technically Sunday morning. It's like Saturday night, Sunday morning. It's my last shift of the week, and then I'm off Sunday and Monday. And doing it this way, trying to get the at least the Tuesday one recorded, by the time I'm off, then all I have to worry about is finding time to either write a story for Friday or do a freestyle one again. Because it's one less thing to worry about, because I still have to do my business stuff. Get online and post ads and work on that stuff, whatever. But, action steps every day. No matter how motivated I am to do it, I'm still gonna keep at it, keep pushing forward and stuff. And I try not to let things like what my parents said or what my in-law said to really to make too much of an impact on me, because I know that I'm eventually gonna succeed. And so I always love when you're out here on the road and like literally I pass this car and I was coming up on them and started to pass them pretty quick, only they then sped up and hovered beside me, and I'm like, I had a car that I'm like literally riding my tail, and I'm like, I can't do anything unless I just brake and let this car pass me again. But then most of the time when you do that, you brake and get behind them and they slow down. So you're going 68 trying to pass them, they speed up so you can't, so you can get behind them and they slow back down to like 60, and so you're like, The majority of the time when that happens, you get back over to go past them again and they speed back up again. those are the only occasions I've actually debated giving someone the middle finger, just because I'm like, look, like, either go the speed limit or slow down and let me pass you. Don't speed up when I try to pass you, and then slow down when I get behind you. Little driver courtesy for you guys out there, you know, whether you're a tractor trailer or a car. I mean, this applies to both, because truck drivers do it too. I had one yesterday on my way back from Illinois that I literally got 2/3 of the way past him, and he sped up and he leveled with me, like, truck next to my truck, and I'm literally like going 68, can't go any faster, and I'm looking over at him, and he's just continuing on matching my speed. So I braked and got behind him, and he slowed down. So I flashed my brights at him and kind of basically like, hey, screw you, man. And he started to like slow down even more. So I said, I'm not even gonna bother with him. I slowed down to 50. I slowed down slow enough that he actually sped up and got way ahead of me, because I probably annoyed him. Like, he's like, well, I ain't going to go 45 to keep trying to annoy you. Because I was like, I'll slow down to 40 so that you'll feel a little bit like awkward, because you'll look like you're holding me up. Like, it won't be me holding everybody up. They'll be like, hey, this FedEx guy is going 40, but he has his truck right in front of him. And I got a car that just passed me, and like 10 feet in front of me, they decided to go ahead. They decided to go ahead and get up, get in front of me or whatever. And it's like, really, dude? They slowed down too. I'm like, man, now we're down to 60. It's like, I don't get it, Funny thing is, when he got over in front of me, I was close enough that I could have read y'all his license plate. They're like, by the way, if you ever see this car, give him the middle finger. But I'm not that mean. Most of us truckers out here, we will not do the road rage thing. We'll just back off and say, go ahead. We'll just back off back here. We'll let you disappear in the distance. It ain't worth it, Even if you're a car, it's just not worth it to speed up to somebody and try to run them off the road or whatever. It's not worth it. Just let them go, Curse to yourself if you have to, but otherwise just let the car get up. So, case in point, just don't let people, whether they're friends or family, don't let them affect you too much when it comes to your goals, your dreams. Just do what you gotta do. Go out there and do it. Like, obviously, if you want to explain yourself to them, then do it. But the way I basically just do how I kind of explain to my dad. I didn't really explain it to my in-law too much. I did try to explain it to my dad a little bit. Basically, like, Dad, like, I have to do something. Like if I stay where I'm at, keep doing what I'm doing, we're not going to probably get a house anytime soon. We're going to be staying in this apartment for a while, because it'll take a long time for us to. We're still a while. I mean, we've been married 17 years, and it would still take probably another 5 years at least for us to get enough stuff paid off, for our credit to go up enough for us to get a house. Maybe, possibly. And so I'm trying to actually, like, my mother-in-law did ask my wife an interesting question, though. Sorry, y'all, for the pause there. I just, earlier on my way up, before they told me to turn around when I was on my way to Chap, on this side of the road going the direction I'm headed now, I did see there was an area where there was, 4 or 5 cop cars on the side of the road, and I was like, oh, something happened. And when I just passed a little area next to, a guardrail, whatever, it looked like there was, a box truck or something off in the trees on its side, so apparently somebody screwed up, lost control of their vehicle, and went off the road. It's like, wow, okay. Hopefully they're okay, but just gotta be careful when we're out here and stuff. But my mother-in-law asked my wife, she said, is Chris planning to quit his job? She goes, no. He, not right now. He would like to, he would like to be able to do stuff, do the, a self-employed thing, with the podcast, with the online business, full-time or whatever, but it's not a plan right now. I said, yeah, I mean, I would like to come off the road, but at the same time, I think, well, if I could get into a set thing where I'm doing the same route every day, then I wouldn't mind continuing to work, even if I didn't have to. Because I've always said I'd rather work because I want to, not because I have to. Because that's the important thing. Like, if you love your job, but you're doing a side business, so your income, you're basically you're doing okay. Then if you don't want to quit your job, then don't. You know, work your job and do what you love. You know, but do it because you love the job. Do it because you want to be there and do it, not because you need the money. You know, that's pure freedom right there. When you could actually choose to work a job because you love the job, not because of what you get paid at the job. But and to also have that freedom. That's kind of freedom too. That it gives you the option to like be able to take vacations when you normally wouldn't be able to take vacations because you wouldn't be able to afford it. And so that's the kind of freedom that everybody deserves. Like, everybody deserves to be able to make that choice. Like, hey, like, I'm gonna go take a week off here. You know? I told the wife, I said that's one of the other goals. I said not only just to, you know, have the flexibility to say, you know what, I can work because I want to, not because I have to. But I said also I want to be able to take a vacation more than just like once every 2 years. Heck, even more than just once a year. I want to be able to say maybe every couple months, but you know what? Let's plan in 2 weeks. Let's take a week and go to Kansas to visit the fam, or go to Oklahoma to visit my fam, or go to Philly and visit the fam up there. You know, or go on a Disney trip. You know, take the kids and stuff, and the grandkid down to Florida or whatever. You know, have that flexibility because financially we'll be in a spot where we can afford to do it, and it won't hurt us when we come back. Like when you take a trip for a week and you come back and you have a 0 pay week, and unless you've been able to put enough money aside to kind of compensate for that, then basically you just have a week where you're really broke, and then the next week you get paid again, and you're back to normal. You know, so this is one of those things, y'all, you know, where you should do what's right for you, you know. Don't let anybody, I mean, yeah, obviously it's going to affect you because if it's somebody close to you, you want them to love and support you and stuff. And not everybody can do it, you know. So, just gotta keep on pushing forward. So, anyway, y'all, on that, I will try to close this out, but anybody, if anybody has any comments, concerns, questions, if you have any suggestions about like a topic to discuss, Real Talk Tuesday, something that, because I know right now I basically just do whatever topic I might be inspired about to talk about that day, but my plan is to eventually be able to do things like, especially if I can figure out how to get it set up. I want to do like interviews, like random interviews with people. And like heck, I would love to get my I don't think she'll hear this. I don't think she listens to my podcast, but my sponsor with the Legacy Builder program, you know, Tara. I would love to get her on a call, get her on an interview, and have it basically for this podcast, you know, for one of the Real Talk Tuesdays, just get her on here, ask her questions. I don't know, maybe I could do it as a record it, but do it as a Zoom call where I have my phone recording while the Zoom call's going, and we're able to talk, and it's getting recorded on the call and stuff. That might be a possibility. So I know I could technically record straight from my phone without the microphone, without the headset. If I'm in an area that's not too loud, like if I'm in one of the rooms, I got the door closed or whatever, I could have the phone recording and have maybe sit literally on the keyboard while the video is going, and basically it'd just be recording the conversation, you know. I didn't even think about that possibility until literally just here right now doing this episode with you guys. I'm like, I wonder if I could pull it off like that. That would be kind of cool. So, but there are plans. I've got goals in mind for this podcast. I've got some plans that I would love to do that I'm trying to figure out how to pull it off, because when I don't have an actual podcast studio at home, So I literally record from my phone with my headset and stuff. So I'm kind of, it's it's a work in progress. But like for those of you who are new, you go back to episode 1 and start from the very beginning. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a warning, a little bit of a heads up. It was kind of rough back then when I started. I did go back and, afterwards, I think it was at like 20 or 25 episodes in, and I went back to like the first dozen or so. Then, they got better by like episode 12, and then they started kind of like they were a lot better. Sound quality, I guess would be the right way to, they sounded better. But the first like 5 to 10, at least the first 5, 6, or 7 episodes were pretty rough because I think I was mostly recording just on my phone, no headset, so there's a lot of background noise and stuff. So I went back and tried to edit those as much as I could. And they do sound better, but you still tell if you go back and listen, and then you listen to these current episodes, you can tell there's a lot different. Like now, I think I've come a long way and made them sound pretty good, and hopefully you guys agree. but any suggestions or for Real Talk Tuesday topics to talk about, or if you have a story idea, especially because I'm doing them like freestyle, kind of doing them on the fly. If you give me a story idea based on such and such, I can try to see what I can come up with just by thinking about it and then recording and seeing what I can do. Hopefully I don't disappoint you, but any of those comments, questions, concerns, ideas for stories or whatever, drop me a line at blodgetshowpodcast@gmail.com or go to blodgetshow.com and hit the contact button. One other thing too is if you go to blodgetshow.com/promotions, or you click the drop down menu and you click the promotions tab or whatever, there's a couple different promotions on that page. Little things for people if they want to make a few bucks here or a few bucks there, like some Sophie, that bank Sophie. There's a couple promotions that they have going on. Those links are on that page. I have a copy and paste ads business that's pretty simple, but it's pretty basic. But that one, it's like $129 to join that one. That one's on there if anybody wants to check that out. I do recommend when people, I had one person actually that approached me on Messenger that they were looking to join the $100 copy and paste ads business. And I redirected them and said, well, if you're looking for something a little more dependable, something that actually is an actual business, I said, why don't you check out, here's my link for my Legacy Builder page for my Legacy Builder business. We have a $100 option here too, and you still pay $29 on top of that for your website, but it's one time, and you would have an actual program that teaches you how to do stuff, to build a online income and stuff, versus like just copy and paste ads. You get paid $100 for those ads or whatever. Something that's actually a business, something that you can learn how to actually make money and earn online through social media. That's what the $100 one is. And he was like, oh, cool, all right, but. So that link's on there for the copy and paste ads, but the fourth link that's on that page on the promotions tab is the Legacy Builder program. It literally says learn how to earn online by following a simple step-by-step blueprint. You click that link and stuff, that'll take you to my capture page. Basically put your name and email address in there. This is me at almost 3 in the morning, guys. Like, I'm here, but and of course, like, I've got hot chocolate, not any caffeine, so I'm like, I'm doing my best. But yeah, that fourth link where it says learn how to earn online by following a simple step-by-step blueprint. That one right there will take you to the capture page. Put your name and email address in there. You'll see a video on the next page, and then it'll take you to the actual page with the different products, the 900, 600, 300, 100. All good programs. There's, a lot of people are succeeding at these. It's one of those things, like, you have to be consistent with it. You have to take daily action. You have to take action consistently with it. You can't just, it's like any program online. You can't just buy a program and then sit back and wait and be like a week later, like, well, I haven't made anything. Like, well, have you done anything? Well, no. Like, I just thought I'd just buy this program and I make money. Like, no, that's not how it works. And anybody that tries to sell you a program and tells you, like, all you have to do is buy, you'll make money, they're lying to you, you know. Because 99% of the time, you're not going to put money into something and just make money instantly. You gotta actually do the work, but put some effort in there. Whether it's videos or doing posts online or talking to people or whatever, you know. So, but so yeah, I think that's it as far as the closing stuff. But again, you know, we just gotta keep pushing forward. Not let the best way I can say is not let the naysayers like drag you down. Not let them, you know, deter you from your goals. Because if you have a goal and you have a dream and you're working towards it, you've invested in a program or a business and you're working on building it, and other people are trying to talk you down and trying to like question it. All you can do is, all right, I hear you, but you know, my wife has a saying that like when people are making comments or giving their opinions, if you're not like paying my bills, feeding me, or doing, you know, or in a relationship with me, like, you know, then you don't really have a say. You know, so we gotta, you know, you gotta think of it like that. Like they're basically just somebody in your life, but they're not really they're not financially supporting you or feeding you or whatever. Then they're not dating you. Then yeah, okay, their opinion matters, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So on that note, I hope everybody has a great rest of your week. Because by the time obviously when you guys hear this, it will be Tuesday. So have a great rest of your week, and I look forward to talking to you guys on Friday with the next Storytime Friday. Keep being positive, keep believing, keep pushing forward. Believe you can, believe you will, and you're already halfway there. And then you just have to go out there and do it. And others might not believe in what you're trying to do, but all you have to do is believe that you're, like I said earlier, believe you can and believe you will. You know, believe in what you're doing, and keep taking action towards that goal, and it will happen. We got this, guys. So on that note, you guys have a great night, and I will catch you on Friday. Have a good one.